Oh, Luna, he's back.
Well, it's about time. How long does it really take to heal from second-degree burns?
Welcome home, human person Mizore.
Hey, idiot. How was the hospital?
I'm just glad to be home.
Ew. Now I gotta clean myself again.
Treats.
I'm not sure how many more treats I could afford at this point, Jiji.
What? How much was the hospital bill?
$22,000.
Oh, well, that's not that bad.
There goes my savings for a new down payment on a house, Jiji.
Maybe you should have tried buying a house when the market was better.
I was like 10 years old when the market was better.
Ooh, then maybe you should have bought it when you were in elementary school. Oh, or you should have become a Pokemon trainer.
He can't even train us, Jiji. How would he train Pokemon?
Oh, you're right, Luna. Sometimes I forget how useless he is.
Well, it's been a while, but let's get the show started, I suppose.
Yes, let's.
I'm Luna.
And I'm Jiji. And welcome to...
Whiskers and Controllers! For this episode, we would like to introduce the new game, Rusty Rabbit, released April 17, 2025. The game is developed by Nitro Plus and published by NetEase.
Rusty Rabbit is a Metrovania 2.5D action platformer envisioned by the Japanese writer Gen Urobuchi, who has written for many visual novels and anime projects, such as Puella Magi, Madoka Magica, Psychopass, Fate Zero, and much more.
Rusty Rabbit is a special passion project that Urobuchi decided to create as a challenge to himself within Unreal Engine back at the start of COVID-19. Later, the game was picked up by the publisher NetEase to make into a full-blown project.
Wow, that's quite an achievement to be picked up by a mega publisher.
Indeed, it is. For some, that's a dream come true. Even the Japanese voice actor Takaya Kuroda, who's widely known as the voice of Kazuma Kiryu of Yakuza, joined on at an early stage of development and voices the main protagonist in Rusty Rabbit.
Then this must be a great game!
Ring, phone call. Ring, phone call.
Jiji, Luna, hello, long time no see!
Haku, hi!
No kitten way! Haku, how did you get on the TV?
Well, I tried calling your phone, but you changed your numbers? Third time in the last few months, actually. I tried video calling you on the PC, but maybe there's a malfunction with the system since I can't seem to get the call to go through. And then, finally, I tried contacting Luna through her only pals, but I think I was mistakenly blocked, maybe? But, strangely, my subscription payments still go through. So, I just had to try a alternative method. And here I am!
You didn't answer the question. How did you get on the TV?
A magician never reveals his secrets.
Alright, that's it. I'm calling the police.
No, I'm sorry. I just really wanted to talk to you all about Rusty Rabbit.
Haku, I'm glad you're here, but how did you know we were talking about Rusty Rabbit today?
I told you, Jiji. He's a big weirdo. He probably has this whole room bugged with microphones, like in the Paw Switch Pro house, still available for $39.99.
Oh, well, that's not where I placed it, but...
Oh my gosh! Jiji, turn off the TV!
Wait, no!
Do it!
Please, I just want to talk about Rusty Rabbit.
You're fine, Haku.
You were right, Luna. He is weird.
I told you. Now we have to have human person Mizore search this whole room for devices.
Jeez, that may take a while. So let's talk a little bit about the story of Rusty Rabbit.
In Rusty Rabbit, you are introduced to the middle-aged and extremely grumpy bunny Stamp, aka Rusty, who lives in the snowy village and works as a junk collector in a mountain called Smokestack Mountain. Alongside himself is his self-created junk collecting mecha Junkster, which helps him excavate for various types of junk, which Stamp sells at his junk shop.
Although very alone, Stamp used to have a wife and daughter who are now out of the picture, but that seems to have been many years ago. Now he lives and breathes junk, where he makes a living. Although most of his life is a mystery, the mystery starts to unfold when Junkster is severely damaged and a new excavation group called the BBs joins in the collection of junk at the mountain.
Many new characters join in the story, but determining who's friend or foe is just one obstacle in it all. As the story goes on, new mysteries and truths unravel.
Oh, I'm excited to talk about this one.
Me too! It's been a while since we reviewed a game, so let's start with talking about the game design and art.
Okay, Rusty Rabbit uses Unreal Engine in its game design, which gives the game a very clean and almost realistic aesthetic, but not really an eye-catching one to say the least. The game primarily consists of various dungeons that you have to go through, which you essentially jump and maneuver your way through enemies and obstacles, with the occasional boss fight at the end before discovering the next dungeon. It's a Metrovania, meaning that as you progress further, different abilities and mechanics are needed to unlock certain areas. And there will be times when you have to go back to old dungeons and utilize a new mechanic that you learned. There are a handful of dungeons to explore while gathering various junk, which can be used to craft new weapons and upgrades for Junkster, sold in shops for money, or exchanged for additional cash for completing requests given by clients of the barkeep, Lucas. A lot of these upgrades can be done within the Snow Village at Stamp's home, or parts such as the additional parts can be equipped while on the go.
There is also a skill tree that plays a big part in the mechanics of the game as well, which allows the player to pick up new skills and abilities for Junkster that would greatly help along the way. For example, some skills increases the EN or defense of Junkster for more sustainability, which you will need, while others help with gaining more map awareness to find secret areas, add more slots to a weapon to empower them, or add more slots to Junkster to be able to hold more additional parts, which gives various perks. There's quite a bit of upgrade that can be done, so it is fun to see what skills you choose versus others to help in your gameplay.
Art-wise, there's a mix between what seems to be very detailed and polished concept art, which is usually used as the game's narrative told through the church, or times when Stamp restores old cars and reveals pieces of his past. The design of the 2.5D models of characters and rust-bought enemies are well polished with added details such as the fur, which gives each bunny character a cuteness to it, while also throwing in the rugged and semi-post-apocalyptic theme to each character's accessories and the environment itself. Besides those creepy little rabbit eyes, the characters and the environment seem to fit well together.
Moving on to the game controls, as you progress more and more, your movements and gameplay change as well. Things such as the sliding boosters to make you move left and right faster and jump higher make movement fun. There are different weapons and power abilities that have their own use, such as breaking special blocks, cutting vines and wires and more, and of course, used for beating up enemy rust bots that you encounter. There is even an ability to hover for a shorter duration of time. All these mechanics and abilities make the game controls dynamic and diverse, although the mechanics in themselves can sometimes work against you more than the enemies.
Let's just say Human Person Misori's forte is not platformer games. Very clumsy.
Very pathetic.
But once you learn to use the controls, it's very fun and satisfying to break through the various blocks in succession and beat up enemies with quick maneuvers using your weapons and abilities.
Although the mechanics can be fun, there doesn't seem to be too much depth when it comes to the dungeon designs. Most of them are very simplistic to maneuver and very forgiving since there are a number of checkpoints around, and leveling up your character replenishes your life 100%. This is fantastic for Human Person Misori's tiny and incapable brain, but more hardcore gamers may find the game a bit too simplistic. The boss fights are interesting, especially this rust octopus. But for most of the boss fights, you can simply stand in one place or take advantage of an edge and blast away until the enemy health bar depletes. Very anticlimactic if you ask me.
But if you're up for a challenge, you're able to go into the random dungeon portal and refight empowered bosses and travel through randomized dungeons as well, which gives you additional XP and that more hardcore thrill people may seek.
Indeed, they can.
Luna, what do you think is the most interesting part of this game?
It's hard to say. We still haven't finished it 100% yet, but we are close to the end. Right now, I find that the story itself is the most interesting. Stamp is a grumpy old man with his own secrets and hardships that unfold throughout the game. The story evolves from a simple quest to collect junk and fix up Junkster to a more epic story of finding out what happened to your runaway daughter, and the true motives behind characters such as Anna and Nether and the church. Characters like Soma and Lucas also have an interesting past, while others are just a bit annoying, like Paul. Are there any parts that you like or dislike, Jiji?
Oh yes. There's a lot that I dislike. I found the story extremely sluggish. I mean, even 8 hours into the game, you must still be wondering what exactly the story is and where it's headed. The majority of the voices in the game are super serious and slow in delivery, which makes the pacing drag, and there are also a ton of short but annoying cutscenes which a lot of the time didn't add much to the story or felt like, no duh, I knew that already. One of the most boring parts of the game is the whole restoration of cars, which is Stamp's whole job. It's just long text of paragraphs about boring talk of mechanical things. I understand it's Stamp's hobby and main job, but even with the little nuggets of background story in them, I'd always rather skip those sections.
Wow, I know what you mean. I fell asleep a few times reading them.
Me too. But one thing I really loved was the narrative stories from the church. In a funny way, the stories or sermons that are taught loosely are based on the book The Tales of Peter Rabbit. And although the narrative is delivered in a serious manner, people who have read the books or seen the movies will get a real laugh from it. It also reveals some very important details about humans, or giants, which is what the rabbits call humans, and what happened to them over time since they disappeared from the world, leaving their junk to be discovered.
Well, I think we have enough information to give Rusty Rabbit a fair rating.
Here we go!
We decided to give this game an 18 out of 25.
Yep. The game was pretty sluggish and slow at first, so the rating may be a little generous in my opinion, but the dynamic gameplay and rich storytelling really made it enjoyable in the end.
It was indeed a McGregor of a game at times.
Whoa, Luna, watch your mouth!
What? McGregor is not that bad of a word. Maybe just to rabbits. Nothing compared to what you just said.
Oh. Whoopsies.
Anyways, that's our show. Thanks for watching the show. Tune in next time to Whiskers and Controllers!
Oh, by the way, the Paw Switch Pro, still on sale for $39.99.
Jiji, the show's over.
Take a look at the description below. Bye!